Good morning, students. In this video, we will study about pleiotropy. So, what is pleiotropy? So, normally what we see that any character of our body is coded by one pair of gene, which is known as allele, or we can say one pair of allele is responsible for one particular character of our body, such as height of individual, skin color, color of eyes. But in case of pleiotropy, so these pair of genes, they will regulate many phenotypic character of our body. So such type of genes is known as pleiotropic gene, and this phenomenon is known as pleiotropy. And this pleiotropic gene may be lethal. Lethal means it may leads to death of an individual when it affects vital functions of the body. And very good example of this pleiotropy is a sickle cell anemia. So this sickle cell anemia is an example of pleiotropy, and this sickle cell anemia, it is a type of genetic disorder. So mainly what happens in sickle cell anemia, the shape of hemoglobin. So the normal shape of hemoglobin is a biconcave disc like shape, but if any person will suffer from sickle cell anemia, then the shape of RBC, it will become sickle shape. And this sickle cell anemia, it is a autosomal recessive disorder. What is the meaning of autosomal recessive disorder? Means the gene which will cause that sickle cell anemia, they will remain present on the autosomes, and they will only express in recessive condition. Means if there will be homozygous recessive condition, then only it can cause that sickle cell anemia disease. And the gene which is responsible for the shape of hemoglobin is HB, and there are two forms of that HB gene, that is HBA, and second one is a HBS. So HBA and HBS, these are the two forms of that gene which will code the, or which will govern the shape of the hemoglobin present inside the RBC. So out of these two, HBA is the dominant form of gene and HBS is the recessive form of gene. So there are three possibilities, or we can say there are three phenotypic possibilities can be seen. So in first condition, when both the dominant form of allele will be present, that is HBA and HBA, in this condition what will happen? The person will be normal, he will not suffer from that sickle cell anemia disease. The shape of the RBC, it will be biconcave disc like shape, this is the normal shape, and so that person will be normal. Second possibility is that the genetic combination or the allele combination will be one dominant form of gene will be present, and the second will be the uh, that recessive form of gene will be present, that is HBA and HBS. So in this condition what will happen? So that person will will suffer from that sickle cell anemia disease. The 50% of the hemoglobin will have the normal shape, that is biconcave disc like shape, and rest 50% of the RBC, they will become sickle shape. So such person, they will suffer from that sickle cell anemia disease. And the third possibility is that in both the allele will be in the recessive form, that is HBS HBS. In this condition what will happen? all the all the RBC, they will become sickle shape, and ultimately that person, they will die, they will not able to survive just after birth, or maybe within 1 to 2 days. So such individuals will survive if they have the if they have the genotype HBS HBS. So out of these three possible genotypes, only homozygous individuals for HBS show the diseased phenotype. In case of heterozygous, that is HBA HBS individuals, appear apparently unaffected, but they are carrier of the disease, as there is 50% probability of transmission of the mutant gene to the progeny, thus exhibiting sickle cell trait. Now this sickle cell anemia is mainly caused due to the change in the hemoglobin. So what is hemoglobin? It is a pigment which remain present in the RBC, and this hemoglobin, it is made up of 4 different chain of protein, that is 2 alpha chain and 2 beta chains. So how many protein chains will be present in hemoglobin? So total there will be 4 chains will be present, that 2 chains, that 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. And we all know that proteins, they are made up of long chain of amino acid. Proteins are nothing but they are long chain of amino acid. So amino acid, they are the building blocks of protein. Many amino acids, they will join together and they will form protein. So what happens in case of sickle cell anemia? That is the beta globulin chain. I'm not talking about alpha chain. So the beta globulin chain which remain present in the hemoglobin, so it is formed by the joining of many amino acids. So there will be little bit of change in the beta globulin chain. So in this diagram you can see that this is the sequence of amino acid in case of normal hemoglobin, and this is the sequence of amino acid in the sickle cell anemia. When the shape of hemoglobin, it will become sickle shape. So there is a only difference that at the sixth position, the amino acid glutamic acid, it will be replaced by valine. So apart from this sixth position, all the sequence of amino acid, it will remain same. The only difference is that the amino acid glutamic acid, it will replaced by the valine. So this is very important point. And due to this change, the shape of the hemoglobin, the shape of the RBC, it will become sickle shape. The shape of the RBC, it will become sickle shape. The mutant hemoglobin molecules undergoes polymerization under low oxygen tension, causing the change in the shape of RBC from biconcave disc-like shape, and it will become sickle shape. So normally in pleiotropy, what we are seeing that due to that change in the glutamic acid, so due to the change of one amino acid, the shape of hemoglobin, it will get changed, and when the shape of hemoglobin will change, ultimately it will lead to the change in the shape of that RBC. And when the shape of RBC will change, then sufficient amount of oxygen will be not delivered to the cells and tissue, and when sufficient amount of oxygen will be not delivered to the cells and tissue, then ultimately it will lead to the anemia. So many phenotypic traits are controlled due to change, or many phenotypic characters are regulated by that single gene, that is HBS. So that's why it is an example of pleiotropy. And there is one advantage regarding this sickle cell anemia, that if any person having the heterozygous, means if the genotype of that person will be HBA HBS, so in that condition, so such person, they will show resistant against malaria. So this is very important. So sickle cell anemia, it is related with malaria disease also. So if any person having the genotype HBA HBS, they will be resistant against malaria disease. Why they will be resistant against malaria disease? Because the malarial parasite, it will not able to survive in that sickle shape RBC. So that's why such person, they will show immunity resistant against malaria. But if any person having the normal RBC, that is biconcave disc-like shape, then they may be susceptible that they may suffer from that malaria disease. So this is the example of that pleiotropy. There is one more example of pleiotropy, that is the phenylketonuria. So what is phenylketonuria? We will study in next video. Thank you. Have a good day.